What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Thursday Mixdown. Let's go over this, but then I want to tell you why this stream is going to be very important, because it's not going to be about blah, blah, blah. This channel strip is awesome. We know it's good. You can make records with it. Doesn't matter. I'm going to talk about what it means and feels to use channel strips in an in-the-box session, okay? And I'm going to talk you through all of my difficulties, all of the things that are very good, but also the things that I believe have kind of put me in trouble when I wanted to do 100% console in the box. If you don't know this channel strip, I'm going to help you out. Worry not, I'm here. So we've got our filters, which is a high pass and low pass. They're there, they're out, and you can change them. You can even turn them on and off. And then we've got 4 bands, okay? So the 4 bands are usually 2 shelves, top and bottom. So we've got low, mids, and highs. And we cannot tweak the Q for highs and lows. That's typical SSL. You've got variable Qs that are only for low mids and high mids. And they're, if I am not mistaken, constant reciprocal Qs. That's the term it should be. Meaning if you have a Q and you're like on the positive, if you go down in the negative, it's gonna retain the Q. This is not Neve, okay? Neve doesn't do that usually. Usually, there's no rule, there's different issues of things, but usually you cut sharp, you boost broad, but in the SSL, the Qs remain constant. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong. Feel free to look it up just in case I don't say wrong stuff. So we've got a solo and cuts, which are going to, you see what this is doing? You see what this is doing? Just so we start off the right foot, this was the thing that amazed me the most. You've got a solo cut button that react to the actual channel strip of Nuendo. I was like, what? What? Okay, so the browns should be G channel EQs, sort of, or brown channel EQs, okay? And the black ones are associated with the E-style console. However, you can have things that are interchangeable. SSL might deny or, this, but that's why you can change the EQ while retaining the sound of the SSL 4000G, okay? It's not just the EQ that makes the G, it's a lot of things. Then we've got input meters, output meters, global bypass that actually bypasses the entire plugin. So this VST is talking through the entire DAW. Presets, a link to the 360, which Martin owns, has. I know it's a beautiful thing, I don't have it. So we're going to do this. And we can listen to the sidechain. Very important, listen to me on this one. You see this big fader that is here? That has a very nice kind of inertia to it and stuff. This is not linear. So this has a sound. And if you push this up or down, it's going to affect how things sound. Okay? If you go to the preferences here, you can decide whether you want this to be linear or not. Okay? You shouldn't worry about trimming down linearly because SSL has put an output trim here that will trim our stuff. So this is out trim clean. This is really the sound of the console fader. So it's got its harmonics and they change non-linearly when you go up and down. This happens in the E and in the B consoles as well. It does not happen on the 9000 plugin, okay? Just so we're clear. That's clean. Then we've got an input trim that I believe to be clean. Some people might deny that. I don't know. I think it's clean. Then we can flip phase and we got the preamp on and off with the impedance selector. So we can kind of switch the ohms, the impedance, to make the preamp react differently, which is going to be beautiful. I haven't tried it. I don't know, but this is what it does. So if we want the mic preamps, we turn it on and we start tweaking, and then we can fiddle with the ohms here. Obviously, changing the impedance changes the sound of the unit, so on and so forth. Good meters. And then we've got the dynamics section. The way I like to have it, we start with the facts, okay? The way I like to have it is usually having the EQ first and then the dynamics, which is what they did here. We got EQ, filters, and then dynamics. But if you want, we can change this, okay? Because on the real console, you can put things first. You can do dynamics, filters, EQ. You can do filters, dynamics, EQ, whatever you want. It's right here, okay? We can monitor the sidechain, so on and so forth. What is this? Oh, we can even put, obviously, the EQ into sidechain. So the EQ is going to just feed the sidechain of the compressor. You want to monitor it. We can have external sidechain. Beautiful things. The reminder of what console you're using. So the compressor is usually a gain compensation compressor in the console. So when you bring the threshold down, you start compressing, but the gain goes up as well. This is the right behavior on channel strips on the console. Martin says, I've become a fan since I bought the UC1. The hardware they make is great. If you commit to the hardware, there's no reason why you shouldn't use this. Like, this is your thing. If you had a console like this, would be it. Sometimes you use different plugins here and there. That's the thing. So we've got ratio, we've got release, we got threshold, we got a fast attack or not because it's kind of fast. And we got a fast attack on the expander as well, which can be an expander or a gate. We got release, we got threshold. Boom, done. I mean, there's no reason to explain it any further. There's a dry wet mix knob. There's a high quality thing. There's an analog VCA mode. There's also a width. Sorry, that I completely forgot. Where's the width? It's not here because it's a mono track. Smart. Okay. There's gonna be, I'm sure there's gonna be. So you can decide if you want the width to work in expanding the side, like gaining up the side content, only on low frequencies, only on high frequencies, or full. And then you decide where the lows and highs are going to be split, which is this width frequency. Auto makeup for the compressor, auto makeup offset. If you want to have an offset, people, it's here. So why? Why would you use a channel strip? Not this channel strip. Why would you use a channel strip? Why would we go through this? I'm going to give you my reasons. The sound that made the console famous comes also from the fact that the curves, the workflow, the way you look at frequencies are here, okay? Right, Martin says workflow-wise, absolutely. So it's gonna influence how you mix. The way that I'm gonna show you, some frequencies are here. I'm gonna try and pass you the most I know. I am not the most SSL knowledgeable, but I do have some cliches. I know how things should feel when you go to specific points from seeing people that work with the SSL for a good couple of years. Without touching, I wasn't allowed. Was allowed to kind of help, but not like touching. But you get used to hearing things like people go, you know, the engineer keeps saying like, we gotta go, boom. There's a couple things I'll do for sure, and I'll show you, which are gonna help you a lot. The starting points are amazing. The reason why some stuff is at 12 o'clock is there. It's got a sound. It's got a way to bring you to a sound. It's very versatile for the time. This EQ can do everything, even if it's not a digital EQ. The compressor is amazing. It's easy to overdo. And the expander gate is magical. Like, it works. It cuts stuff down. It's unbelievable. Then what else? I'm going to guide you through it. Okay, so I've explained this. But the workflow, the sound of it, okay. But I'm telling you, it's the workflow. The low resource usage to me is going to be very important, and the low latency, okay? And the integration with control surfaces. This one has it, just so you know, okay? So it's got low latency. It doesn't use CPU, because if I have to use 3 and then my CPU maxes out, the purpose of a channel strip is gone, okay? It needs to be low level consumption. It needs to be low latency, and it needs to yield the sound of the original, if we're going for that, because otherwise I'm going to use a clean one, okay? That's as far as we go. So I propose what we're going to do is we're going to take this, the G. I think we're going to work with the G. So, and I'm just going to copy these everywhere for our drums, okay? So right now we got solos, but I can take this. I don't even remember where we were. And we're going to work on, I don't even know if we need to. We've got some Pro Q on the kick. We got our 286S preamp. You know, I'm just going to listen to the drums. I'm fresh. Let's go. Martin says, I always use the HQ, can't pronounce, the HQ option, but I'm not sure if that's always better. It should be better. I think it's an oversampling probably for the high frequencies. I'm not going to use it because I need to make music for broken sound cards. Broken sound cards. Okay, so here we go. So these are channel strip. Let me listen to. We got a kick, all kicks, but it should be better. If your computer can take it and you're working on high frequencies, you should probably turn it on all the time. There's no reason not to, I'm thinking. Unless you want to make broken kind of music. So what about the drums? Let's solo these folks here. Right? We did pretty much everything we wanted. Just so you know, we did use these as well on the room and stuff, and I'm not gonna change it. I'm not gonna take these out. I know it's a Neve channel strip, and then we're using an SSL channel strip. So what? We forget we use this. This is our starting point. It's the 88 RS is just beautiful. Martin says the lovely Neve EQ. Yeah, we got it. I mean, it sounds fine, right? So I'm in solo. So if I am excited and I want to use the SSL 4KG because I have it new and I want to mess with the drums in solo, remember, you're going to make mistakes. We are going to make mistakes. Just not because we're in isolation. Unless there's real clean issues, there's really no reason to mess with the drums without hearing how things work. But I want to test going bypass on all of these. Is it going to sound different? For sure, should. Okay, I don't hear that much of a difference, but placebo effect is telling me there's a difference. I know there is. I know there's harmonics getting in because of the way the fader works, but it is appropriate. I wouldn't think the console automatically just bursts stuff out, right? So let's bring in our bass. Okay, we can work with this, okay? I think you will notice it more when using the preamp, says Martin. Yeah, we did use some preamps here. We have the 286 on mic already. So, but we'll probably on the guitars we will, okay? I'm thinking, because we didn't use preamps on guitars, and Drew's guitars I love them for that 90s vibe, but they're a little bit kind of 90s, so they're a little bit digital. So they might be nice into this. So let's make room for our bass into the sculpting of the drums, okay? So I'm gonna keep my bass here, and I'm gonna try and find spaces for these to work, okay? So definitely, let's try and work against the kick, just to shape a tiny little bit of sound. And then what I wanna do is I wanna get the snare, which could be the rooms, however. I want to try and take these in view. We can obviously make it super smaller, but then I will not do it because A, I can't really read it. And two, we can do this. So our bass is right, and then we got snare top and kick bottom. And I want to make these three things work. So I'll just have them play and look at the EQ moves. I'm going to make room for something somewhere, and I'm going to make the opposite probably move there. I'm not forced to do it. I know this is going to happen, okay? Let's try that. Okay, I want to stop it here, okay? So here's what I've done. I am not going out of the genius here. I'm using my ears, but hear me out. It's easier than you think. It's easier than I don't want to say I'm not good, but I'm saying like, don't worry. I'm gonna explain you why, okay? So maybe from today on you go like, I got it. Okay. So bass usually is very cool on the 300 hertz because you can really hear the bass player going. And I remember that because I have never thought that 300 would be a frequency for bass, but it is. So once you remember, it's gone. It's an area that you can go find the real low articulation of bass. Okay. If you have a guy that plays, a guy cannot, if you have somebody, an alien playing a Fender Jazz, maybe active pickups going straight into whatever, and they're slapping it or they're funky on it, the 300's off the hook. But even if they're playing that, So 300 is not a frequency you want to cut if it's real. Martin says, I usually cut 300. I have done it, or ignored it at best. But have you heard it? As soon as I brought it up, bass is filling everything. Imagine now when we put guitars on, that's good. So I'm going to proceed on it. So then I took the low frequency 60 and I sacrificed it. I know it's good as well there, but I know I want to get something going on in the sub. In my opinion, and in the opinion of many I've learned from, you cannot really have two people rule the subwoofer kingdom, okay? There's only one emperor or emperoress of the subwoofer area. And I decided I want it to be the kick. I don't want it to be bass. So, but you need to decide. Usually that's that, which is what I've done then on the kick. Now, I then went to find some yellow, some green, and I'm going to call the colors because this is how I've kind of learned on the SSL. Some green on the bass, okay? I mean the green EQ bands, the HMF, okay? So the HMF on bass, to me, needs to be that presence, that connection to the guitars, electric guitars in this case. We do not have electric guitars, so all I've done is try and find where I could hear that amp tone, and then I backed it off to 0. But now, the frequency of my green on bass is dialed in. That's where I hear that grungy bass tone, and I want that. I don't know how much I want because I need to hear guitars, but I kept it there. High frequencies, don't care. Filters, don't care. Why? Because I don't really hear that there's any issue so far, okay? Remember, we've done some mixing of it in the other week. Then I moved to the kick, what I was doing bass, and what I've done is I found an area where I could cut a little bit to clean the bass, which is not the 300s, a little bit below. And honestly, this kick is plenty clean already. So maybe it's not that necessary, but I wanted my kick to be leaner because I already know it needs to go through guitars and there's a lot of tracks in here. So we need something that is lean, agile, that has the right frequencies. I move my hands a lot. Why? How can I not? All right. My heritage. So then I wanted sub. I did talk about these already. I want this kick to be a little bit more on the electronic side. And so I took the kick low frequencies, the black, the brown there, the LF, right? But one thing you do on a lot of these consoles and vintage EQs is if you want 60, don't go 60. And don't listen to me. If you want 60 and 60 sounds good, go 60. But try and question yourself, what if you go lower than 60? Which in this case is even 40-ish something. I can hear some of the 60 bump from the 40, but I also hear the sub. So that's where I dialed it in. Remember, we've got a mix bus compressor. We got some things going on. Maybe it's not on, I'll turn it on. We've got some 1176s on the drums. It doesn't matter. These are all there. It doesn't matter. We're mixing through the channel strips. Don't be worried about, oh, there's 300 things afterwards. Okay, well, there's 3,000 things afterwards. They're there. Does it sound good? Sounds good. So I like the stuff afterwards because it's kind of keeping us musically here, right? Then I took the kick and I wanted some vintage vibe. So I went for not even a kilohertz on the green for the kick. It gave me a little bit of that presence that I dislike on most kicks. But here I think it's kind of got a vibe. And then I did one thing that is just a trick on the SSL. It was brought to our attention by many famous SSL users, but it's really there. You keep that thing at 8K, which is 12 o'clock. Don't touch that. Unless you got guitars, you can even go 7, okay? And just crank that thing, okay? And have you heard it? It's like the kick gained that point that it is SSL. It is for better or worse. That kick now will be heard on small, medium, big AirPods devices or anything. It doesn't matter if we like it or not. I believe it is a little bit too pointy. But remember, guitars, keyboards, vocals, all the things. So the habit is to do this, okay? Then I've got the snare, which I haven't fiddled with. I'm kind of thinking the snare is going to be where we want it, thinking. So it's kind of dangerous. Let me listen to it and then I'll call if there's something to do. I haven't compressed. I'm going to talk about this in a second. Let's do the snare. Let's hear if there's something missing. Let me know if you think there's something missing, okay? Just, it's like, yo, I hear 500 hertz. I'll bump it and I'll tell you, wow, yeah, no. Who knows? We're doing this mix together. We're getting paid, all of us. Drew's gonna... No, we're doing it for Drew, which, deserves that. All right, so let's try and hear the snare. Okay, my personal opinion, 200 hertz, okay? Now, 200 hertz is amazing on snares. Problem is, it gets problematic very fast. So you could do 200 hertz on the blue. I usually do 200 on snare on the low because it sounds different. It's a different curve. And if you push 200 too much in isolation, like too much of a bell, the snare will be thuddy. And when you listen at low volume, all you'll hear is boom, boom, is that boxy snare that will cover the guitars. I hate it. I would rather have a very scooped 200 on a snare than a bulged. Okay. Ideally, I want a perfect snare. Like all the memes that we look at every day, right? We'll never get a perfect snare. We know that. But ideally, right? So that's the thing. Honestly, here, I wouldn't touch a thing. Sometimes you got snares that resonate a lot. You take the 400 out. I like this snare very much. You know what we can try? The so-called telephone, okay? So the telephone on the SSL is you take the blue. Imagine you're working on a console. You don't even look at it, because you can't lean on. You take this blue and you just crank the frequency until it stops, okay? And that's 2.5 here. Sometimes I think it might even go a little bit lower, like 2.4, 2.2. It's around there or a little bit less than that, okay? It's usually less than that, but just so you know, it's like the blue there. Q, you don't need to touch the Q. Martin says, I hear what you mean. I had that issue sometimes. We all had. And I had discussions when I was mixing with other people that were telling me, Alberto, can you push the 200 more? And so maybe I wanted to do too light. The artist wanted it too big. When you cannot find the right balance of it, it's because you need to dynamically compress that range of the snare. So you need to take a multi-band EQ, take that area, multi-band EQ, and try and stabilize that because the room is probably making the drum kit explode on 200 hertz, and that's why you don't like it, or you don't like it, the other guy likes it. I've been talking about these many times. So cheap trick is use a multi-band compressor. I wouldn't even use a dynamic EQ, multi-band compressor on like from 100 to 300, something very smooth, and kind of clamp on it a little bit. You know, you don't need fast attacks, like you can go, 4 milliseconds, 6, 10, whatever. As long as it clamps, you keep fastening the attack, and you hear when it stabilizes. And when the attack grabs, you stay there, because it just pushes the lows far enough to not come at you. The problem is the 200 jumps at you. That's why I hate it. Especially on small speakers at low volumes, I hate it on the snare. But this sounds good. Honestly, there's nothing I want to do on it. So you know what? We're calling it. This is the drums. What did I want to do afterwards? Oh, did I want to talk about compression? No. I want to do something I forgot. I have to watch my own stream to know what I was doing. No, wait. There was something else. There was something. Okay, well, the mix bus. Let's check if our compressors and stuff are working here. I'm thinking this is, oh no, this is on, okay? We got our channeler. We got our gold clip. All right, good. So everything's kind of working. Just as a reminder, on all drums, we've got our CLA 1176s. We got Orion. Orion rules, people, if you don't know this guy. And then we got Bloom, another absolute, professionally speaking, banger. This is not an amazing plugin. And remember, our kick is doing sidechain for other stuff. So it's kind of pushing other instruments down. You heard it, things were going down. Okay, so we've got our drums. Let me see if we got these on. Yes, I don't think anything is working. Let me hear it again just in case. Why are the filters not working though? Martin says, I use the Traveler WA Productions. I don't know that plugin. I heard about it. I've never tried it. Oh, why am I doing that? No, yeah. All right. They placed highs and lows the way they should be. I was thinking that this was it. So I wanted to kind of try and cut some lows on the bass, but I was cutting highs. Obviously, as you can see here, the curve. Okay, proof of concept. Listen to the kick, okay? I know it's obnoxious and it's weird, but let's try and cut the bass at 350. Listen to the kick. Like, the kick is here. I can hear it. W Adam audio speakers, by the way. Saving the day all the time. Okay, so this is a test. I've done this and I go, I really like that area to be kind of clean. I know I'm going for a more electronic dance kind of stuff, but I want to give it this vibe, otherwise why would have Drew contacted me? I don't know. There's no reason. But, I'm going to back it off until I hear that the kick is just isolated enough. And if I make it extreme, it's okay, because I want to push for sound. I don't need correct. Have you heard it? Like, if you go out, the kick is no longer breathing. If we go, I don't know, it will breathe. It's tough because each time you move it, the bass is playing other parts. So you're kind of like, if it was live, I would ask the bass player, can you play the same groove on the root note of the song? Just to hear the root and how it reacts, okay? Then I would have him go like fifth, just randomly, down a fourth. So to the fifth down, perfect fifth up, and then maybe octave up, just to hear how it is. But the root note is fundamental. That's a pun. I made an amazing pun. The root note is so fundamental to the mix because it's the root. right? So I would like to hear that. I'm thinking it's done here. Let's keep in mind we might go a little bit higher, okay? I'm dying to bring in the guitars. We need to bring in the guitars. So this part here is now with guitars. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do something nobody ever thinks about doing. And you know who's the first person who's never done it for years? This guy right here. I'm gonna take the lead vocals and we're gonna mix the lead vocals with drums and bass. And I'm like nodding, nodding myself. Now, if I find the main lead vocal, here it is. I should be this one. No, it's this one. And it's right here. Here, let's do this part. This. Let's go right here. Huge part, so we got a little bit different.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun.
All right, so I'm gonna save some slots here. Let's go for G. All right, and let's mix this. I already hear that I kind of want to stabilize this guy a little bit. So what I would do is I would take, do you want to really know the old school kind of way of doing this? You clip it, okay? And if you clip it, that's the dude. We're going to orange clip this. So it doesn't really need to be destroyed, but we're going to go minimum phase, oversampling off. Trust me. And true linear, I'm not going to use even multiband. I want to kind of get a little bit of the edges, pay attention to where we think that the singer is kind of a bit too loud, and then we're going to shave it. If we do it right, nobody will know that this has been clipped. But I want these vocals to be stable. They're already very, very good and very stable, but I want a little bit more. So let's do this.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon.
Okay, star, pawn, that's the highlights. Little bit, we don't need a lot. But see how I'm doing drastically, right? I don't want to use the links. No links here. Let's see here. So I'm going to lower the ceiling.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like frost melts with the sun. My broken heart doesn't need.
We should do this more often. We just invented something. This is when it really works. I'm gonna do this. And kind of fade away in the room. I'm afraid I'm gonna hit something. All right, and then, right? Okay, so, I have never met Ryan, but I've exchanged amazing emails, and I take the unilateral decision to say that Ryan loves my music, and I like the plugins he does, okay? So, I get absolutely zero. I'm not here to get money from plugins you buy. Maybe I'll be rich, but I wouldn't be happy. So I want to be happy rather than rich. So and then I want to be rich, like close second. So this really works. I mean, the space is saying such a great. Martin says like stop. Yeah, we're gonna do the best. I could hit my Korg DW 8000 there, and James would be happy about it. It just fell. You remember last year it fell and it got destroyed. And then we rebuilt it, and he was like, no. Because I was like, I rebuilt it, it works again. And he was like, no. He was hoping for it to be destroyed. Space asks, the clippers before the SSL? Absolutely. Like, you start your vocals with a limiter or a clipper. Martin, if you look in Discord, you'll find that. Because James hates the DW8000. And we can't say he's completely wrong. I like to think the way I played and program it makes it better, but yeah. So Water, exactly. Space, this is you use a limiter or a clipper before anything else. You don't really need to completely destroy it. I don't even compensate for gain. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. You know, if we wanted to, we could get a little bit. You see, let's see how much I'm clipping, because I'm thinking we're not as subtle as we would be, but I hear it's a much more relaxing presentation. The vocals are there, they're not moving. I hear the message. We're not making them louder. They're just completely clipped, okay? And I could even move this, the soft knee, to find the sweet spot. I have to be 100% honest with you. With my ears and experience, like having done it many times, my feeling is I wouldn't touch it. It needs to be hard clipped. I'm sure it might be better, but if I were mixing these alone in the silence of my room with all of my imaginary friends and stuff, I would just be going forward. It's a much more relaxed presentation. The drums and the bass are there, the singer's there, you're watching this gig, you like the band, but you know when the singer comes at your place, at your table, starts, you know, just dancing with you, dude, I don't want to just stay on stage, you know? I'm here having fun with my friends. It's kind of that vibe. I felt that it was a little bit too much insisting on me. And if you compose music like I do for video games or stuff, this works not just on vocals. I have a lot of vocal stuff like ethnic sounds, Middle Eastern vibes and stuff. I do these a lot, and they're samples. So it's not about rock music, it's not about Drew's singer and stuff. So let's try before and after. Let's see how much we're clipping.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back.
So we saw that we go 4 dBs on a spot that I didn't call out. You remember I said the last words of the 2 lines? It's actually the beginning of it, because there's a plosive, there's a P or a B. I'm afraid that I'm gonna burst the mic. There's a P or a B that are pushing that. And we did that 4. Can you hear the 4? I can't hear the 4. It's okay. And this gives us headroom to do wrong moves. I'm keeping this. No oversampling, no linear phase, hard as a rock, old school. I like that. Now we EQ this. But actually, I'm gonna further compress this a little bit, just because to me, it's super tempting. So how do you compress vocals on an SSL? You should not. But trust me, a lot of people I've learned from was like, don't compress on the channel strip. It's too much. I believe it's not too much. It's actually good. I'm going to go with a kind of a soft ratio. I might go as far as 3. I don't even know. We can even try 10. I don't know. But the attack, I think the fastest could be cool to use, because it's just got that vibe. The fastest attack, the fastest release, on the compressor in the SSL has that vibe, okay? So first let's see if I'm compressing. Yeah, it should be in.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon.
Why I'm not compressing? Because the ratio is 1.0, all right? So let's see where we are here. Let's try 1.4. 2.1 would be fine anyway. You like that as well, Martin? Yeah, I mean, it's a sound. I want to hear what kind of attitude. I'm not doing it for dynamics, but for attitude.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like.
Have you heard it? I'm gonna do it again, okay? I'm gonna move it from 1.1 to 4. Wait for it, huh?
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and
the smoke, okay? So that one is not a sound I like. I don't know if you were expecting me to say that, or if you were saying like, this is good. If you like it, that's okay. Okay? I don't like that aura. I hear this aura, I don't like that. Okay? So personally, there's benefit to having maybe 2.1 or something, but you know what? We can't really decide. I don't really hear that attitude that is being necessary to us. Maybe the mic pre we could try, but I'm thinking the EQ is all we need, honestly. With guitars, it's a different story. So that's okay. Let's try that.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirror.
First move, low frequency on vocals, 100 hertz or lower. There's that body, that support, and I kind of like that. Then I might even cut it, and you go like, why did you do that if you then cut it? Well, because now we know the area where the halo's fine. Martin says, if you want to compress more, raise the input trim. Yeah, absolutely. It's true. If it doesn't compress as much, Martin says that's very good. Just bring the input trim up and, possibly maybe make the dynamics first, because I'm thinking the EQ might give you some saturation. I don't know. So if you don't want to get the saturation from the EQ, bring the dynamics first. And but I like this, I will do that. So 100 hertz. And now we try the telephone, okay? You remember what I said, blue to the maximum and crank the gain and then lower it. Find the telephone on the SSL. From this stream onwards, when somebody says the telephone, you know what it is. It's that 2.2, 2.5 on the blue band on the SSL, and then you can do it everywhere. It doesn't really have to be SSL. Let's try that.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirror.
It's that little bit. Again, I'm telling you, this track already has it. I'm kind of hearing it. We instantly go a little bit too much, but I kind of like that. And still, we pinpointed it's 2.23, and I like where it is. I wouldn't make the Q sharper. It's okay where that is. Do we need brighter? I don't know. We can try. We still got no comparison with guitars yet, but we got the channel going. So honestly, I don't really think we need anything else. Let me try and see if I find something cool. But I'm gonna kind of make the Q of the green sharper, find the gain, and scoop around, and be wary. This is dangerous sometimes. It pushes you to find something because you want to use the EQ. You shouldn't use the EQ if there's no need to use the EQ. Okay, but just so we have fun, let's try that.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back.
You could say this is very, very bothersome, so we can kind of climb that. So it brings me to explain a trick. It's not necessarily going to work, but just so you know, we don't like 6.3, right? So we get a sharp Q and we cut it, but then we use a lower pink and we crank it. Okay, so we're doing this. We're kind of going up, down, up. We're compensating what we're cutting with another bell. And this is, again, this is not me. This is common. But this, if you don't know this, you can try that. So we found that we don't like this 6.3. We're going to carb it, but then we're going to also bring it up, right? And bring it through the pink.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon.
Right? So it's better without, but it loses so much life. So let's try and see if we work something like 3.5 and bring it up.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are open.
We're compensating too much. Again, I'm fixing a problem that doesn't exist. I'm trying to also explain a concept. Maybe let me try higher, because it's going to grab on the lows as well.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back.
And this one works. I had to do this. I can't do boring streams. I'm sorry. I'm sometimes pretty boring, though. Admit that. Am I? I explain too much. I know. Watch out the cord. Yeah. We don't want to waste a precious GW8000. Also because it's going to scare the heck out of me. There's also the Amiga is on there. So I'm more worried about the Amiga of the cord. But I love my 8000. I love that synth. I use it. Guilty as charged. So 9.2 kilohertz. That much? This is 11 decibels. This is 11.4 and 9.2. Boy, sounds supernatural. So let's try without and with the EQ.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back.
I think it's better. And I think it's kind of giving us more preparedness for the guitars. Okay. So we did drums, bass, channel stripping. I don't know if that's a very good term to use. Channel stripping our way through the SSL thing. I love how it transfers the names. It manages to do solo and cut and things. So, right. Martin says, can you use the preamp? Yeah, let's try that. I don't know. Like, I hear there's a lot of effects in Edge, but this could be cool. So I'm going to go while we'll listen, I'm going to go crank it, impedance. I hope it's not going to blast us.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like frost melts with the sun.
Boy, okay. I've used it a little bit too late, the the knob, the impedance. Let's listen to it again. I think it's kind of, the red knob was giving it a nice vibe, but the sibilance become a problem. But it's not weird. It's actually, we're gonna use a de-esser, but the impedance really brought the whole thing to life. I saw some emojis being burned. Did it? Maybe with the corner of my eye. Thanks. So it's good. Let's try that again.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like frost melts with the sun.
Okay. So it's too early to make this decision. It sounds cool, but it sounds different. And I hear the singer no longer jumping high, which in this case I kind of like. I hear it a little bit more constrained. So for a more aggressive kind of vibe, I kind of think this is right there. And I like that we're kind of kicking 28 hertz. It changes the world. I could hear the lows in the vocals were going, we're sitting down like a Hovcraft, like, like floppy. And so 28.8, I'm going to keep anyway. These I don't know. I still think maybe we need some jump. But see, now we're keeping score that this could be nice. Definitely it's a vibe. It's got its own style. But I don't know. It is stable. It's more stable. It's stabilizing it for sure. Let me try again.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like frost melts with the sun.
I'm really imagining the guitars, and I'm gonna try and keep them with the vocals without these. But it's a cool sound. There's a lot of effects in the vocals as well. I was expecting it more, not brutal, but more sound designing. Instead, it's really tasty. Okay, so that's good. So we got these three. Let me take a look at which guitars are playing here. Because the problem now is that we have to kind of score the right parts. Look at how many we have. We need to find the backbones in the guitars. So usually what I do is I take let's order the tracks first, because I don't think they're ordered that well. This should be first. These should be first and should be colored some sort of like this. Oh, I want to color the whole tracks. The track color. I hate that when he does that. Come on. Just for an instrument thing. Okay, then we've got these two, right? So I'm coloring pairs. You see how I'm doing that, right? Got the pairs. Let me see if there's somebody else in pairs or huge blocks. These two are fine. This is coming early. I like them to be in order of appearance. That's how I do it. Right? This comes later. Let me put this here. Do we have other doubles? Maybe this. maybe this. And believe it or not, this is very, very important. So maybe we do this? Yeah? No? Do we have another kind of pair? Could be this. These two are pairs as well. No, these are actually there's so many. Drew, what? Okay, there's so many of these. Right, so this goes here. See how I'm going? There's a lot of tracks. But guitars are so important, Drew stuff. This is why I told you there's a lot of work here. So these three are definitely a vibe together. These two are also kind of vibing together. And probably, I mean, definitely, these are also vibing together. This is how I kind of like to do it, because once we're in the mixer, you see, you are lost. I mean, you can even, obviously, you can do this. You can do these and get rid of some of the things around here. We've got channels. We don't need the routing. We can do this and get the tracks to be like smaller and see them here. Is it better for you if I do it like this, or would you rather have a complete mixer? I'm used to one monitor, and we should use 10 monitors here. So I'm thinking this is better though, because you understand, says Space. I understand your logic in putting them in order. Guitars, especially when there's so many of them, I need to have them cascading top, bottom, left, right. That's how I like them. Seeing both looks better, right? Okay, let's do this. What's the minimum we can do to know away from this? Okay, so, right. We got our vocals right here. I think it's I'm gonna move the leads over our bass. These could be a first one for me, but I'm gonna do it because our vocals are gonna give us the metering, the sort of like a marker situation right here. And if you need more guidance, for example, don't be afraid to do this. Add track and you go ruler and you go bars plus beats, for example, and now you have a ruler. So you have drums and you have, see here, for example, this one, you've got drums, you've got bass, you've got vocals, and then you've got the ruler of your guitars. And you can move the ruler on things you've worked on, or just keep those three and then guitars. I do it for example, the orchestral parts, brass, strings. I keep them separated. Then, just visually, because I think, oh, that's the orchestral stuff. So let's do this. I talk too much, I know. Okay, so this. Now we know which guitars are playing. I see these are very important, these two.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all clear.
Okay, I hear this and I say, right, but these are not carrying as much. And we didn't do much to them, right? So let me hear these other two. See why it's important that we keep them in track. I solo them from there. And let me hide these tracks so that we've got our vocals right there. And we can track it. We can see where we are against the vocals. There's never enough space. But this is more important than which plugins you use. I mean, you know that already. I know you know, but this is important. So let's try and see who carries the game here. Who carries the game?
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like frost melts with the sun.
Okay, let me listen to... I keep that reference. I still haven't found a true carrier, so maybe it's the sum of them.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like...
Man, Drew's making it very hard for us. This is complicated just because of the parts and stuff. Okay. It's just more... Oh man, how many are here? Okay, it's probably gonna start the administrative decision of saying, dude, you're not caring enough. I'm also thinking keyboards might be what we really need. So we've got these two that I forgot. Let's try that.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke.
Okay, I'm thinking we gotta start somewhere. So I'm thinking this is where we're gonna start. We're gonna do some carving like there's no tomorrow here. So these two, I'm just gonna bring them in the picture. They're always playing. Why did I close it? Okay, left and right. Did I do it right? 3, guitar 12. Who's this guy? Right, I did it the other way. I need to keep what's left, and right. Otherwise, I go nuts. So let's try and bring these to sound. I'm gonna make them a unity gain, and I'm thinking I'm probably gonna try them at just left, right. We've got so much going on. Let's try that. And I'm gonna mix it, then come up with maybe ideas, maybe not, I don't know. There's even a pan here. Wow. Okay. But I'm gonna pan from the DAW, but which we already did. You know, let's try the pan though, because it's about the SSL thing. Does it pan around?
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday is big.
It doesn't. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. Does it? Let me try that. I'm not sure now.
And oh, we've blown every star.
It does. Okay, so it's kind of like close to 360 or having real, the real things. You could even not use the pans on the DAW. All right, so we go. Do we go for it? I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna keep the pans centered and just do the pans in the console. And when we do this, I'm gonna go bypass on the pan of Nuendo, so that when I see a bypass and it's a track, I know we did it in the console. So we cannot do it twice and it's just visual. I just came up with this idea. So, all right. This is faster just because I want to handle where to place these guitars and what better slot to do than in the channel strips. Let's go.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like frost melts with the sun.
Okay, so I want to compress these. They're probably going to be too low. Let me try this. I don't even know now.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like frost melts with the sun.
Okay, so I'm bringing them up with the input trim.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke.
You hear how kind of loud they are? I would want to probably actually compress them first, or maybe not. I still don't know. I would probably kind of get them to clipping. Like I would probably use orange clip first. Let me try that. I would still use the same trick of having a limiter or a clipper. And because I'm trying to give it a sound, you know what? We go for this. And we stabilize this before we get into it. Let me bypass this guy. You gotta go, Martin. Watch back later on. Thanks, Alberto. Have a great evening. Also to Space and Marco. Bye, Martin. No worries. It's gonna be on Patreon as well. So this is a great chance for me to explain how I do the soundstage placement on Orange Clip, because it's all about this knee here. So let's bring both of them in the picture, and let's stabilize the heck out of these because they're too dynamic all the time. So we do this, right? Let's try that.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like frost melts with the sun. My broken heart doesn't need another crack. We go forward this time. There's no going back. Our kiss marks the spot, so sublime. Finally we can say there's no.
Have you heard it? How stable, how a lot more stable they are. I'm gonna do like minimum phase. I don't even need that. So, and now, you know, you can use this one. You can use soft clip by Apogee. That also works wonders. So I'm gonna copy these settings and kind of bring them around because I'm thinking we're gonna need these a lot. It needs to be stabilized. So now they're kind of playing a little bit more our game. Let me try these two as well.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back.
Okay, so this is now louder.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like frost melts with the sun.
Okay, copy paste these for the other pair.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke.
Now we recover the trims. You know, you see how easy it would be to have like a control surface and do it like having all the channels there. But I have to kind of like hide, bring it back, right? It's longer. So, but we're gonna get there.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like frost melts with the sun.
Why didn't you give me that? Ah, because it's a mono track? Okay, so this one we're gonna pan here. This we're gonna pan here. These I can't use the pans. Okay.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like frost melts with the sun.
Okay, then I'm gonna take where the vocals kind of sing and I'm gonna carve their enthusiasm here.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like frost melts with the sun.
Have you heard it? So the first one is that 5.5 area where the drums, the snare definition, the vocals are. I don't want guitars to be bothering me there. Also, there's tons of bursts. So here an assistant would go and kind of gain stage and automate stuff because there's a lot of burst in here. But just to prove a point that infinite to 1 ratio, very long release, there's 20 to 1 here. It's really stabilizing this to bring it to almost be a pad. They're almost pads now. But I kind of like where they are. So let me do this as well. And let me pan these. These can be panned. Maybe they're not going to end up fully blown there.
Oh, we've blown every star we've wished.
Same drill. We go for the 5 thing. We carb it. We go for the 500 hertz, 400. We take it out. We make the guitars lighter. We still don't make them beefier on the lows because it's probably not gonna be useful. I think maybe not, maybe yes. We go here a little bit by sense.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like frost melts with the sun. My broken heart doesn't need.
Hear how redesigned everything is. It's getting sacrificed. It's no longer very important, but I think it's like kind of the vocals are what matters because the vocals are always there. I can make them horrible, but fit, right? While before it was just like they're not listening to the music. Now they are, I feel. So 400, that's another area I want them lighter.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like.
There's no real need to go for the lows. I think I kind of like where it is. Man, I did 4 guitars out of what? Gazillion. We did do only 2. Oh no, we did 4. Oh man, it is gonna be something. But these are also, okay, let's bring these in. I'm thinking we need to go the same trick. Let me listen to this.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. I'll someday.
Here, you hear it now, right? They're heavy. They're doing too much. So let me stabilize these again. Actually, let me bring this guy so that we cannot do a copy here. No. Here. I'm going to be super lazy. We're stabilizing these. We're treating them as pads. Let me see where we are here.
And oh, we've blown every star.
You see that ramp, right? It's creating resistance for the guitars to explode out. But it's not perceived as compression because it's so soft, the knee, that it's kind of containing the first burst. So we're doing that. And I think it works as long as it stabilizes that. And it's not adding tube sound. It's not doing weird stuff. So if I can type, we're going to bring this again up. Why do you have to appear on my thing? Right. These two. Okay. So we're going to listen to it, fiddle with it, see where we are. I'm thinking I want to do maybe left and right here. I need to because one is mono, one not. I want to still pan them. There's too many guitars.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like frost melts with the sun. My broken heart doesn't.
Okay, less lows.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like frost melts with the sun.
Little bit of presence I don't dislike. Let me see.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like frost melts with.
Okay, this is important. You see what I'm doing with the guitars to feel if the EQ is, if the vibe of the guitar is right. I'm taking the fader, any fader, I'm doing the big fader because it's kind of fun. And I'm bringing it up and then down. So my ear instantly listens to what the guitar is. And it's asking itself these questions. So when I bring it up, is it really obnoxious or can I bring it up? And for how loud that is, the guitar isn't really bothering me. This is one question. When usually I can bring it up and I don't really hear the guitar coming too loud or punching me, that's usually I like it in the groove. Then because I heard it very loud, I know the guitar sound, and then I try and find it when I'm bringing it down into the level. Marco says, wouldn't it be enough to simply clip the old guitar's bass? Yes, it would be nice, but because I'm thinking I was gonna say Drew and my mouth didn't do it. Because Drew has such vibey, dynamic guitars, I know for sure that if we clip the bass where all the guitars are going, we are gonna get a moment in the song where we're gonna crash it and it's gonna sound horrible, and we need to find alternatives. One thing you could do is make more than one guitar bass and clip them according to the sections differently. That would be an idea. But I want to clip before I get into the SSL. That's why I'm doing it backwards. But we would also do that. I'm thinking we will compress the guitar bass. I know I want to compress the guitar bass. I want to do it in this stream, this episode, but it's too early to bring in a bass compressor because these guitars are a mess. They're not as much of a mess, but you see how much I'm cutting. A ton of ballast. Gosh, we got so many. You know what? But it doesn't really matter because if we take this and we bring them down, these are tons. I'm even thinking there's this, what I would do is this. I would bring all these faders down just so I know these are extras, or maybe even color them a little bit differently like this. But this looks like, to me, This is acoustics. So, you know, low fader. Let's see who else. Did we do these two, these two, these two? So the body is done. We've got the main body for the verse. Where the verse is kicking in. Yeah. Well, let's keep them there. Did we do these? Okay, we didn't do this. Let me hear if there's one that really carries. Then we'll decide. Maybe I'll add it. You would lose your head with so many tracks. This is... Okay, that's a very good thing that Space is saying. He says, I would lose my head with so many tracks. Do not be fooled by the fact that I am on camera. It's a live stream, YouTube. Okay? Honest. 100% honesty is always what matters. Don't be fooled and think that you can just jump happily into this, into whatever. I know 1 hour stream, 1 hour and a half. You cannot do this. Okay? This requires the assistant and the engineer looking at it once they got it from the artist, deciding what to do, calling the artist, having the artist there, deciding, talking. There's a lot of okay? Deciding whether all of these tracks are necessary, and then which is a priority, which is not talking with the artist. Then a lot of gain staging. You heard those bursts of energy. Oftentimes, if it's a very acoustic track, you want to kind of follow the gain of the clip instead of doing clipping or shaving waveforms. But because I kind of want it also to have a sound that is a little bit more modern and take the guitars to be more like synth pads, I'm doing this. So there's a reason also for a sound that I want to have. But remember, there's no way, okay? And yes, you gotta keep your focus. This is very important, Space, and thanks for bringing this up. This is why I'm gonna just try and see if there's an important guitar in these 6, and if there isn't, we go. We don't do guitars, we go keys, okay? Just to find the beef. I still haven't found a track that speaks to me as the carrier. Space says, that makes more sense, thanks. Knowing that would help keep them ahead. Our main issue, so don't forget about asking me, our main issue is we are gonna lose concentration. You know that there's no way. If we lose it and we keep mixing, we're gonna make a horrible song. Like the mix is never gonna work, and we need to start over, but then we'll know the song, we'll be tired, and then we need to call another engineer. So stay fresh all the time, you know? Now I talk a lot, obviously, so it seems like an hour and a half, but it's easy to get really stressed out. So let me hear if there's a guitar that speaks to me, bud.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no...
Okay, this one I like, and I think it feels a center picture. Then I kind of want. So we're gonna follow our roots, the roots of Orange Clip and SSL, and you drag them because you couldn't be bothered by recalling settings and stuff. I don't want to restart doing things all over the place, right? So I'm gonna take the gain, bring it down, and see where we are, then bypass this channel strip.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun.
We don't need to really crash it, right? But I want it to meet that slope. I want it to feel the resistance of it. I'm not saying it's clean. It's not gonna be clean, but it's giving it edge. Now I'm gonna bring the ratio to 1. I'm gonna take the EQ out, just turn it on. Let's see where we are. I'm gonna do the fader trick. Bring it up. Can we hear it? Is it obnoxious? Down. Bring it up. How obnoxious it is? Oh, okay. It's not too obnoxious for being too high. So we fixed it, okay? These tricks all the time, and no filters for starters. Here.
And oh, we've blown every star we've...
You heard that note. That note cannot happen. That note cannot happen. It's like you're not the singer, right? It needs to stabilize itself.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished.
Okay, we're getting there, but not as much.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished.
Much better. Now we take the EQ and we find where it's really obnoxious, which I'm thinking has to be this area here because there's vocals first. And then maybe it's going to be 3.3 or something.
And oh, we've blown every star.
You heard it, right? You heard how bad that it would be if we pump it. So now we go backwards.
And oh, we've blown every star.
Okay? Okay? I should do this, though. And go. Okay. I'm safe. I mean, there's a lot of room before the Korg, but now we have this fear, primal fear of synthesizers falling. James, you're missing out on this stream because he would be like, hit it. He's not that evil. But, you know. Good news, I fixed it. Oh, no, he did. So, you heard that it's like obnoxious. But now, while we go down on the SSL, we're sculpting this. This is the beauty of the SSL so much. You can do it with ProQ as well. Think about ProQ. You imagine that? It's like, boom, that one, right? It goes down, and now it feels like we compressed the guitar. We rearranged the guitar. The reason for this that it feels compressed is that the EQ is before the compressor. So, because we stabilized the peaks of the guitar and it's now a more flat kind of response, the compressor grabs on the whole guitar, not just on that edge. And so it brings it more to level. And it's a reason why this channel strip could give you speed over ProQ alone, over a compressor alone. I took those edges, one edge on the green, brought it down, and the compressor now does no longer freak out when that happens, and now it feels like the guitar is more stable. We have not heard one single guitar in solo, and I care not. It doesn't matter. Because we're gonna make so many mistakes if we start doing solos. You know, vocals, all there, right?
And oh, we've blown every star.
It's amazing because I know the note is happening and I can hear it, but it's not too bad. It's a bundle of guitars now. Let me take the 400 again, 500, and just carve it a tiny bit. Let's bump it first so you know what I mean.
And oh, we've blown every star.
We don't really hear it, but have you seen the compressor? It's freaking out. We got like 10 dBs of compression, 20. So I'm gonna go a little bit easier on it.
And oh, we've blown every star.
Okay, now I'm losing gain, so I'm gonna go up with this. We adjust fader.
And oh, we've blown every star.
Have you seen it? For being 9 dBs up, it's a +9. Does not bother us. We try without EQ and compressor, and I keep it +9. Hear what's happening.
And oh, we've blown every star.
This is mixing, okay? This is mixing. It's not making the guitar beautiful. It's keeping the song going. I know Drew wanted that note, but the song is singing. The singer's there. There's lyrics. So now we have it. I'm bringing that back in.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon.
Because he says star, and there's that sparkle. So there's a musical message to it. But it doesn't need to be a desert eagle in your face kind of message. It's going to be a musical one. So this one I like. I lost too much energy. I'm not going to bother with it. I'm going to move on. I know I didn't do the other guitars. I just want to find a good bass compressor for my guitars bus. But obviously, because I'm hiding this channel here, I don't see it. So I need to go to the mixer, take these out, all my things, and go to all guitars. So first things first, we do have a compressor on the guitar bus that has an external sidechain on the kicks. So let's see how much we're compressing here because, you know, maybe it's too much, maybe it's not enough. I want the kicks to kind of breathe.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Awesome days.
I think it's fine. I think it's good. But I also think that we could have some compression or actually some EQ right here. You see what I'm doing by default? I have this EQ on the guitar bass. We're taking out 100 Hertz. So we did all of these choices while this EQ was there. And that's why the kick is so passing through. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it not enough? Let's try and bypass it.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon.
Massive difference. The kicks are very stable, so the kick hit we heard is identical to the other ones. It's just that the filter is just opening things up. Now I want to reshape this EQ a little bit, just for kicks, not for the guitars, to get a little bit of kind of vibe on it. We could use a fancy EQ. Let's try and see if we can stabilize this a little bit.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like frost melts with the sun. My broken heart.
Okay, I need to loop it because I want the same area where I did my blue and yellow to play while I'm doing my gray and blue, right? Because otherwise you make different choices on different zones. So.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared.
Okay, I barsed this one, so let me do a peak, low peak to hear if there's any need for us to bump some lows. I don't think so.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like frost melts with the sun. My broken heart.
I like this. I'm trying not to listen to the guitars, but kind of to the vibe of the whole song. And I'm thinking now we do need some compression here. Remember, I have Bloom that is working. Let's keep it here. Maybe yes, maybe no. We've been listening to the guitars through this all the time. So I want to, let's go CLA 76 regardless. Because I've been using these on guitars, it works. So let's try that. There's no need to really reinvent anything. A tiny bit, right? Just a little bit.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like frost melts with the sun. My broken heart.
Okay, same passage. I'm not sure I like this.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like frost melts with the sun.
I don't think I like it because it's a little bit too euphonic. It's getting carried away. I'm gonna do like, oh, I know what he's gonna do. No, you don't. I mean, maybe. I'm gonna multi-band compress the guitars. No way. Yes, I'm doing that. Just to stabilize these even further. So let's find an area where I think it needs supporting. I want these guitars to be keys. So I want to kind of, even if we didn't try the keys, there's tons of keyboards. We're doomed. Drew, why? So innocent, apparently, this Drew. But it's okay. I want some vibe from the guitars in the middle just to support the vocals, and we'll find room for the keyboards as well. So guitars need to kind of build up somewhere. Let's try this.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun.
You hear it? It's better with. I like it lean, but I want it a little bit more supportive. So this is a good area. Now let's compress it and stabilize it.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like frost melts with the sun.
Right? I mean, okay. Let's try before and after without multi-band compressor.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back.
I'm gonna go again so we hear the same part.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like frost melts with.
I like it better Now we do another area here where the vocals are singing usually, and I'm gonna demonstrate this. I'm gonna crank it up, try and listen to the lyrics. It's gonna be impossible.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back.
It's not that hard because the vocals, we did that piercing, so we prepared them, but it's getting very hard for sure. Not as bad as I thought though. Okay, so let's stabilize these areas as well.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like frost melts with the sun.
I mean, it's a record thing. I don't know if you hear. To me, this is really, I don't know how you feel. It feels like a record. Like it's stable. The guitars, you remember where we started? I mean, Drew threw us. This song is hard. I thought this would be super fun and I could showcase I'm awesome. And this is hard. I need to learn how to mix. But I'm not kidding. Like sometimes you think like, wow, you can hear a big difference. Hey, Space, I can hear a big difference. Let's try and do without and with. And now the guitars are, you almost feel like we don't need the keyboards. They're all in there together, right? But you remember how wild they were. They're so talking together now. But this is huge. These two things are huge now.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like frost melts with the sun.
You hear? There's that note. It's coming up. We can hear it. It's where the lyrics end. It's what Drew wanted. Like you stop singing, the guitars goes up. Our ears move the attention. We see somebody else in the scene, but it's natural. It's still within the same system. And to me, it feels like it's the guitarist of the band on stage. It's not, different. Okay? So, I am kind of saying I nailed it without, and this is hard, people, because, we've been discussing this, talking so much. So, okay. I like this move. I know what we've done. I'm not going to touch anything else. We have keywords, little preview on what we are going to do. The beauty of this is that we did it in context. So we didn't do all of the, where am I? Okay, here, lost. So what are the, these are acoustic guitars. Okay, which we did. Let's bring in the acoustics from here and see what they do as well. We did compress them, so.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun.
It's complete mess here. Okay, let's do this and then we close it. Why do they not work now? Because, well, we did the opto. I liked how it was, but now I know their role. They're not intended to be like completely, carrying the thing. We made the electric carry. So this is more eye candy, ear candy now. Let's try that. We're going to do same trick. We're going to prepare a lot of threshold, slow release, because this is more of a stabilizer. And then we're going to go whoop with the guitar. We might go fast attack. I don't know. Let's filters, all of that. We can pan them. That's good. Let me put them center, ignore pan. So we're going to have our pan here. That's good. Let's try that. Again, the trick is bring it up. And if it's obnoxious, bad. If we fixed it, it shouldn't be as obnoxious as we go 9 or 12.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like frost melts with the sun.
Okay, I'm keeping it very loud so you can kind of get the gist of how I do it.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are
Okay, I can almost not hearing any longer. I don't like probably the moves I've done on the pink, but you see where I'm going, right? If you shape it, it becomes something expressive within the thing. Now it's dead center, so this is also horrible, but it's somehow, I'm learning so much from this feed, live feed. Thanks, Space. I appreciate that. I'm here to do that, for how crazy that can be. I take a lot of happiness, of satisfaction in knowing, I go to bed, I don't know your time zone. You get to your computer and you go like, I'm gonna try that. To know that you try something on your music that is an idea that just came from what I said, and you try it and you say like, what he said works, but in all England's okay, so it's pretty much same time. You try it and you go like, I remember he said that. And what I find is that it's what works for me is almost that, but a little bit less. And you come up with your own, and that's amazing. So this is very, very, very possible because of the support that I have to do this. So, obviously I'm gonna say check what I do on Patreon, check what I do for the tiers I have for support. I know I don't want to be pushy or anything, but this exists because there's people that, we all believe that we have to be here to do some learning and stuff, like proper. The tools are great. I love these people that do these plugins, whatever, but I'm here for us. It's not for the plugins. I couldn't care. Like, we could use another thing. I would get as excited as I am, but I'm happy we can demo this. You have given me so much more details on channel strip, but mostly mixing. Exactly. That's exactly what I want to do. So I'm going to go, get some late tea. Very happy about it. So we got these guitars together to do. Let's do them. Nice. So they're sparkling. They're nice. I might want to have them shaved somehow. We're probably going to use a de-esser as well. But let's try and see, because they're different. I want it a little bit spread. And I have an idea. Let's try this.
I know we've blown every star we've wished upon.
You hear how it's not nice left, it's not nice right. It's nice in the center, but it's not really spreading its wings as I would like. So let's do this. I'm gonna try with the 2016, which we've done a lot, and I'm gonna try and bring it backwards. This is another amazing plugin. I love this so much. So I'm gonna keep it where it is in the channel strip, and I'm gonna try and just put it into the reverb. Mix 0, and I'm gonna bring it up.
I know we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like frost melts with the sun.
Have you noticed the longer, the closer I bring in the mix, the closer it comes to us? There is a sweet spot here. We're gonna find it. But first, let me reset these because it's too much highs. And these here, the highs we really don't need. But this.
I know we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like frost melts with the sun.
Okay, I'm almost.
I know we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like frost melts with the sun.
Okay, I think it's okay. I think I like it. A little bit of a retouch.
I know we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like frost melts with the sun. My broken heart doesn't need another crack. We go forward this.
Okay, I'm gonna keep it here and sacrifice it because it's I want it, but it's not really. Let me do a final adjustment of the other one as well, and then we're done. It's I'm still not sure, but I think I like where I pushed it. So it's okay. And it's got to be to a point where we really don't hear it. So I'm thinking maybe we adjust it a tiny little bit.
And oh, we've blown every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like frost melts with the sun.
Right, that part. This is gonna be easier because we kind of know we want them leaner. We don't want it bother the vocals. You're starting to get physical references to what does what. Like a 2 o'clock on the green on the SSL is always where the vocals kind of lean in. So it's kind of easier to grasp it, right? It becomes physical after a while. You know what points to what. So these we do for sure. Then we take a lot of the highs off.
Melts with the sun.
A lot of the lows out.
Melts with the sun.
More.
Melts with the sun. My broke
Okay, I'm thinking we're there.
melts with the sun.
Okay, it'll be better before.
Each candle we've blown, every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like frost melts with the sun. My broken heart doesn't need another crack. We go forward this time. There's no going back. Our kiss marks the spot, so sublime. Finally we can say there's no going back now.
Hear how stable it all is, right? It's kind of never surprising me. I want to just retouch the vocals and then we're going to call it, and then next week we continue it. There's maybe a little bit of an adjustment. So I'm going to do B setting. Just a tiny little bit when the song's a little bit slower, although it kind of sounded fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to listen at low volume. If you have volume now in your studio, lower it down. We sacrificed the acoustics, right? Space says there's such a massive difference. It's just like, yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful guitar part, but in the mix, we need to kind of carve it. It's sacrificed for the mix. Now it's, it's playing. It's still part of how we feel about the song. We just don't really, really hear it as a solo part. Before it was just so obnoxious, but it's not what it was intended to be. So maybe I'm gonna now dim my vocals, my stereo mix. So I'm really listening kind of a lower volume, and I wanna kind of hear if there's something standing out. I'm afraid to touch the EQ for the vocals. So what I'm thinking is we go to our old lead and we just do a Pro MB here. We do a multiband of the vocals on its bus, okay, right here. Let's hear it, but at low volume.
Each candle we've blown, every star.
Okay, the first impression is the highs are a little bit too much, and the lows are, it's not too loud, it's just unbalanced at the beginning. So I don't want to touch the EQ. I want to find the area where I heard it, that it was too much. So this is where I'm going to solo. Now I'm going to solo. This one, and then we create another one, because you know how the world is, right? Black, white, yin, yang, evil, good, whatever, apples, oranges. So we need to find the other area where I want to compensate. But we don't really compensate, we also stabilize because it's a multi-band compressor. Good work. I have no idea because it was in solo.
Each candle we've blown, every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like frost.
Oh, I was touching the other one. There we go. That's where you're too tired. luckily for us, we got undo. I was moving the other band. So, boop, okay? It's so surgical in what you're doing in finding the balance. I don't want to splurge for endorsements and stuff, but I'm just going to say monitoring and room acoustics are super important. I have a bunch of masterclasses in my Patreon where I really give everybody a hard time. I think Marco's still here. He can tell you I give you a hard time for acoustics. You don't need to spend millions. I am absolutely against splurging for money just because. It's not the equipment, it's the ear. It's not the gear, it's the ear. You know? Somebody I've learned a lot from used to say that, still does, and he's right. So, but the monitoring is very important. So, you know, the acoustics, the cable stuff, Marcus here. He was like, right. Right. Okay, so I wanted to feel good low volume, and this is more people go like, you go in the car, I go, no, it's here, it's here. Multiband compressor on the bus for our vocals, it's just gonna stabilize things and help us kind of obtain a little bit more balance.
Each candle we've blown, every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like frost melts with the sun.
Okay, again, it seems stable, that area.
Each candle we've blown, every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like frost melts with the sun.
Okay, I like this. Now let's combine them together, okay? Maybe I'm thinking I'll need to rework them, but they're there.
Each candle we've blown, every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like frost melts with the sun.
Okay, without and with, maybe I didn't make any difference.
Each candle we've blown, every star we've wished upon. Our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like frost melts with the sun.
Well, no, I think there is difference. Let me hear this area here, because vocals are important. Is there anything up here?
And the mirrors are all cleared like frost melts with the sun. My broken heart doesn't need another crack. We go forward this time, there's no going back. Our kiss marks the spot, so sublime. Finally we can say,
Honestly, I don't think we really need this, but you hear the sound, right? You hear how this could be a sound for other stuff, but it's making it maybe I think this is too much. I don't want to mute this. I want to kind of maybe probably erase, turn it off. Okay, let's turn it off and keep it. Let's try the lows. So we got the 4 of them.
each candle we've blown it. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like frost melts with the sun.
Man, it's such a small difference. It's such a huge difference, though. Wow.
Each candle we've blown it.
Okay? Each candle. Those 2 words. The singer starts, it's the most important time ever. You're getting the first idea, but you're listening low volume, right? You're not really like, you don't know who the singer is. Since I think this singer in this song is just perfect, the vibe is amazing. Hear how the 2 words just jump out, and with, they're kind of stable.
Each candle we've blown.
It sounds like vocals put on. With,
Each candle we've.
it's in the song. It's insane. It could even be a tiny little bit more, but I would leave this to automation. It's insane. It's a little bit. Let me go back to loud and hear if it's wrong.
Each candle we've blown, every star we've wished upon, our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like frost melts with.
If anything, I would probably DS them before anything, but we'll do it later. I like where they are. I think they're just a tiny little bit louder, in my opinion. So let me just go back in lower volume and kind of get here and do this. Or maybe are we stereo? Man, we could splurge and do mid-side. No, let's do this. Let's try and go final output lower.
Every star we've wished upon, our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all.
Okay, last super tip. Low volume listening. You start going down with the volume, you find out how much you have before it really feels wrong. And I think 3 dBs is already too much. 2 down is -2 is still good low volume. So now, armed with this knowledge, we go back loud as it was before, which is not super loud, it's a little bit loud, and we try and go 0 to 2. We know that up to -2 sounds okay, but they felt louder here as well. So I'm positive. I'm optimistic. -2 should be fine. Maybe we don't even need -2.
Each candle we've blown, every star we've wished upon, our someday has begun. There's no going back. The smoke and the mirrors are all cleared like frost melts with the sun.
Boom, done. But I had to go back to the guitars because now that part of the guitars was overwhelming the lyrics, and I was like, no, grabbing them. Done. I mean, done nothing. Done today. Done nothing. Absolutely. Drew, why so hard these songs? So, all right, people. So I said that you have the links everywhere. I'm not going to push anything, but if we come together and we do this and you join the crew on Monday in our spaceship touring and doing VCV stuff and venturing with patches there, and you join the Patreon, remember I have discounts with the top brands. So there's also that. We get a lot of fun. Then you buy a plugin that is $200 and it gets $100. You get your money back and you save even more. I get support. My channel keeps going. I can keep doing this instead of other boring stuff because let's face it, this is really awesome. I could not be more appreciative of what we're doing all together. It's just a lot of fun. So I want to do more of this. Consider supporting. That's the last thing I can say. I know. So I'm going to get some rest. Thank you, Space. Thank you, Marco. Thank you, Mars, for joining in. This will be available as a review. Watch. I've enjoyed staying here. I'm going to go check what I am. I'm halfway through some TV series. I don't even remember, but I'll see. Thank you very much for being here. I'm going to send the ending titles and see you next week. Monday, Modular Mondays, and Discord if you're in Patreon. All right? Take care. Oh, you know how this ends. Ciao.